Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today, showing off a full reveal for OTS Pack 24. I just don't think we had an actual confirmation on the entire new set, but it literally comes out today. Today is the release day, so we can expect to see this if you go to your OTS store today, maybe, as long as they've got it shipped in already. So yeah, this is Konami's Valentine's Day present to the players. We'll see if it's we'll see how good it is, but let's just get into it. We got a lot to get to. So starting off with the ultis, we already have some of the ultis confirmed, but just to go over them overall, Chaos Angel. This is a cool one. My only thing with Chaos Angel is it makes me wish there was like a lower printing of Chaos Angel, and I'm sure we'll get it at some point down the line, but still, like, this card's now going to be only a pretty highly touted secret and an ulti. So still cool, because like this is a super badass card that's just gonna keep coming up down the line in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! So having an ulti printing is really cool. But yeah, next up, Brock the Vanquisher. Yeah, this one's cool. I mean, it's considering you know, Vanquish Soul has been one of those kind of rogue decks. You know, this is a little bit weird because this wasn't ever even like a super high tier deck. This was like at best a tier 2 deck, it feels like. So kind of weird that they went with like this option instead of like, I don't know, some other Unchained card or something. But it is still cool because I like this deck, and this is definitely going to help some of those players bling it out. So yeah, it's cool. Also, is this one of the, this has to have a collector's rare already, right? So like it already has like a cool high rarity, but I don't know. All right, next up, Harvey's Feather Duster. I like this one a lot. I don't think this card has any ulti printings at this point. So again, Konami has to hit some kind of, every time they do this set, they have to have one like classic card. And this definitely fits the mold for like the 3 ultis, right? You have like the generically awesome boss monster. You want to, you know, that anybody could be playing at any given time. You have the specific archetype that like is a fan favorite and like has performed pretty well on the competitive scene, and then you have the super generic old classic card that deserves a really cool printing. So makes sense to me. Not too shocked there. I think that's a decent little lineup for the ultis. Moving into the supers though, King Tiger Wangu. This is cool. I don't know if Wangu's ever gotten above a common printing. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, common Starfoil Rare is the most it's gotten there. So first actual foil printing is really cool. I like that. You know, this is a card that we see every once in a while because he came up in what, like Tri Brigade stuff, and even now with like Chimera he came up a little bit. So he's a cool card. Scary Floodgate, but cool to see him because he always rotates back around. Kind of weird that you could only really have commons before. Aroha. Aroha's really cool. This one is a really niche one because normally you wouldn't say a card with 3 like different like rarities needs this, but because he was initially printed as a rare, then reprinted as a common, and then he already had like a Starlight, I believe, right? Yeah, Starlight. So finally getting like an actual like regular foil printing as a super is really nice for this card. A lot of Unchained fans that really didn't want to shell out Starlight money for this card can still have a foiled Aroha, which is really cool. Shadragale, we knew we were on this path. They already did Kuklok, so that we knew we were cooking on this. This was going to come along. I expect Stovey Torby maybe in the next one. You know, we'll keep it going there. Cornfield Codal, this is cool as well. You know, for an archetype that's actually a pretty, you know, decent fan favorite right now. You know, for competitive players. The fact that like one of their best consistency starter cards is a common is kind of cringe. So actually getting them a holo is pretty cool as well. No, I think almost the entire rest of the archetype is like supers or higher, which is kind of weird that like this guy just ended up being the only one. Maybe there's another card, but I think Sword Knight is super. I think the Fusion super. I think both Baphomet and Gazelle are supers. Yeah, I think this guy may have been the only actual like low rarity card in that archetype. It's really funny. But yeah, that's cool to see. Again, Unchained Soul of Shavara. This card printed as a common initially. Actually getting a holo is really sweet. Now, it's a little bit bittersweet because he just got hit on the ban list, and so a lot of Unchained players are pretty sad about that, and understandably so, but because this card's nasty. But eventually he'll come back, so if you're an actual, like, real fan of Unchained, scooping up a playset of this guy from this pack will be really nice, for sure. Waving High Caesar, this is another cool one. I mean, I know this is definitely gone down in price just because Unchained isn't tier 1 anymore. But when Unchained jumped up into tier 1, this card skyrocketed. And I don't know, we're also getting, it's also like kind of double-sided here, where it's not only for Unchained stuff, but I also have been seeing Shark builds where you can play this card. And I also think like regular DDD is getting better because of the new U-Belt search card that actually just helps their consistency quite a bit. So multifaceted reprint here. I like it. It's still hollow. It just gives us a much more recent printing to hopefully make this a little easier to grab for people. So that's cool. Pearly Sleepy Memory. I think this one's only low rarity, right? Yeah, this one's only a common, so actually giving it a hollow printing is cool. People like, you know, Pearly's going to be at least a rogue deck for a while, I think. It's going to be one of those decks that floats around, gets tops here or there, so that's cool. I'm totally down for upgrading them. Overroot, again, 3 different common printings, and then finally getting an OTS Super. This is one of the better just generic traps we've gotten. It's seen play in Labyrinth, it's seen play in some other random decks too, but yeah, I think that's a cool one too. And then Pearly Leap from a rare to a super. Again, like, Pearly's probably a deck. It's just one of those decks where if it performs that well in the competitive scene, it deserves to not have any rare or lower printings if you can help it. So I like it. I'm all for that. And then we move to Manadium Reframing, the new counter trap, taking that from a common to a super as well. Again, Manadium, a legit competitive deck. Feels like it shouldn't have any commons, as long as you can help it, right? You can play a common if you want to save a couple, save a couple bucks or whatever. But it feels like if you want to bling it out and have an all foil engine, you should be able to do that. All right, and then we get to the commons. Usually, there's not too much going on with the commons. Bicer Shock, whatever. I think that's a whatever one. Oh, these are cool, yeah. So Electric Virus, Puppet Plant, and Marionette might all get a common printing here. It almost would have been cooler to me to see these in Super, because they've only ever been printed in common, I think. So, you know, that is what it is. But to be fair, when Unchained popped up and people were saying Marionette Might is one of the best, like, side deck cards for it, the card was kind of hard to find, even as a common, just because it hasn't been printed in a while. So maybe these at least just make that a little easier to find. Tribulanius, just for the new Raid Raptor stuff. Not sure this card's all that hard. Maybe it just helps you find it, because it's only an Ultra from 2 different sets. So maybe a little cheaper and a little bit easier to find. Okay, that's cool. Fire Flint Lady, you know, cool generic card that, you know, just a little bit easier to get if you really want it. Raider's Wing, again, ultra rare to now common, so I'm cool with that. Saphira, old Saphira, this one definitely needed a reprint. Yeah, look at these. Yeah, look at these. Crazy. So only ever printed in Ultra and Ultimate, so giving it a common, making it a little easier to play, even though in Voiceless Voice you don't even really play this card. Forstrix, that's a really nice one. This card needed a printing bad. Okay, cool. Actually, some pretty good, like, value printings here. Hymn of Blight, this card's whatever. It's only ever had commons. It's quarters anyway. Raid Raptor Call, is this card actually good in Raid Raptor? I don't even know. I mean, it looks like it's kind of expensive because it's only ever had one printing at Ultra. So, again, just some nice, like, reprints. Signet Mining is a nasty common printing. That's actually nasty. I mean, we already have a rare, but, like, still. Now we have, like, wow, that's actually cool. This is, like, mwah, this is something of beauty, right? This is what we want to, like, match what kind of, like, the OCG does. But, like, if you are as budget as it gets and you like a Cyber deck, you could get common. But if you want to spend a little more, rare. If you want to be in the middle, super, ultra, if you want to get almost there, and then secret. You literally have, like, the entire span of, like, rarities here. From, like, the main rarities, I guess they could eventually do, like, an ulti or a starlight for this card, but still, that's like a thing of beauty right there. Bravo, Konami. And then Magispector Tornado and Tempest finishing it up here. this card's only ever been a common, not worried about that. But I guess Tornado's only been an ultra, so this is actually not bad to give them. Make that a little more achievable, but pretty cool. All in all, like, pretty decent. Like, I think the three ultis are fine. I think maybe there could have been something a little more competitively relevant than Rock the Vanquisher, but I think as far as like generic boss monster and generic classic card, I think those are pretty good hits. I think some people, if you're not a Vanquish Soul fan, are going to be bummed to hit Rock, but the other two I definitely think there's reason to be happy about. And honestly, the supers are like, honestly, almost all hits. I mean, you're not always going to be a fan of the archetype you do, but like, there's no denying that it's either like a competitively relevant card recently, or something like Wangu that's like a card that rotates around every time, and now it's the highest rarity for it into the format. So there, and then even a couple of commons that really give some players some accessibility to some of these cards that have been not printed in a long time, or just got new support and are harder to find. So honestly, pretty cool. I think this is a decent tournament pack. I don't follow tournament packs too closely in terms of like ranking them and really deciding like how truly good it is, but I wanted to go through it. I wanted to go one by one and get a little in depth here. But let me know your guys' thoughts down below here. If you're a bigger follower of tournament packs and like reprints and stuff, how good do you think this one is relative to others? I'd love to hear a ranking out of 10. I'd probably give this one a 7. I don't know. I mean, that's where I go. Maybe I'll start paying more close attention to OTS packs when they're coming out, because I usually don't pay the closest attention, but we're in a slower season, so it's a little more exciting than normal. It's not getting drowned out by other stuff, but it's cool. So let me know your thoughts down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, as always. Peace.